Welcome back to the channel, people. We have got behind me, it is not a Ford, and it's not having a wet belt, believe it or not. It is a 2017 Discovery Sport, and we've got a few EML faults with it, which I'm going to show you now. Now, I wasn't going to do a video, but I just feel lost without doing a job without my camera in my hand and explaining the job. All right, let's flip this camera around and show you what we've got. We've got P2BAE00 NOx exceedance, NOx control monitoring system, turbo supercharger under boost, and cylinder 3 glow plug fault. Now, we know that one's definitely going to be a glow plug, which we'll get to shortly. The main one, even though it is a historic fault code, is this NOx control. Now, the first thing to look at on any NOx faults is the injector itself. You know, the AdBlue injector that goes in the exhaust. Now, if you're going to be checking this AdBlue injector, make sure that you've got a V-band clamp to hand, because the bolt's always snapping them. As you can see, I've got now this AdBlue injector off, and it is heavily blocked up. Can I get a little mirror so we can see inside that exhaust? We'll have a little look. Hang on. A lot of it has fallen off or gone into the exhaust, but it's no drama. As you can see, it is partially blocked. Now, how I'm going to clean this AdBlue injector is a little bit of elbow grease, squirt it on, let it soak in for a couple of minutes, and it should dissolve it. It's absolutely insane stuff. Now, after a couple of minutes of that soaking in, we're going to get an airline now. We're going to give it a little bit of a blowout. I don't know if you can see that now, but that is like brand new. Simple as that. And as for the exhaust side of things, we have now cleaned that out, and it is looking like brand new. And all I did was get myself a little pick and do that sort of motion, and rather than blow it into the exhaust, if you put your airline going that way and blow it out, it will suck it out. Right, well, I need to now put this AdBlue injector back into the exhaust, but we've run into a big problem with the clamp itself, which has snapped. The bolt has snapped. What I'm gonna do now is cut the little lugs off, like so we can use the V-band clamp itself again. Similar to what I did on the BMW as a temporary measure, we're going to put a Jubilee clip round it, just so we can get this car on and off the ramp and take it for a little bit of a test drive if we need to. But we have got other faults that need addressing. You know what, I'm quite impressed with that little temporary repair myself. And you know what, that would probably be alright forever and a day, but I can't leave it like that. It's just something I can't do. It's got to be right. If it isn't right, it's not leaving the workshop unless on a test drive. But yeah, we're going to get the brand new one organised. Now, regarding this turbo supercharger under boost, first thing I'm going to be doing is a smoke test on it. Now, Launch have released a brand new smoke machine. There's a Smoke 2 version 4, and it has got a digital, not that this camera is going to see it, but it is a digital reading, so you can keep an eye on the pressures. Now, it does come with a little bladder, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Stick it down the intake and give it a pumperoonie, and that will make a tight seal. Perfect. Now all we've got to do, turn the machine on. You can either run this one with just clean air, or you can have smoke. We're going to opt for the smoke, wait for it to build up, stick it in there and fill that intake system, checking all them pipes, intercoolers and hoses and stuff like that for any leakages. Now, that smoke machine does go on for like a 5-minute cycle. Now, I'll just show you the benefits of having a digital pressure gauge. I don't know whether you lot are going to see it. If I just undo this oil filler cap now, you might be able to see the pressure dropping. You see it? Put it back on and it builds it up. That is a big thing, that is, having a digital display, so you can keep your eyes on the pressures. But however, we haven't got any leaks. Now, I have removed the airbox because on these there is a pipe down there that does like to leak Can you see how black it is? Bit of oil. And I have to. I don't know whether to run another 5-minute cycle on it and put some more pressure through it and see if it's leaking. I don't know, I think it's alright though, I think. Right, now regarding that boost leak, I'm not majorly concerned about it because it is an intermittent fault. Now if we go to the freeze frame data, we can see when the fault occurred. They were doing 36 mile an hour, just under 2000 RPM, and also the distance on the vehicle when it happened was 70,511 miles. How many miles is the car then? 70,547. So it's done just over 40 oddish miles, I should imagine. I'm not the best at maths, but who cares? Right, now let's move round to this one. With it being a permanent fault, cylinder 3 glow plug. Now for those who don't know, the glow plugs are tucked right underneath that inlet manifold, and I have got my little camera there to see if I can show you. And it is right by there. Obviously we've got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, providing they go that way around. We're going to get involved and see if we can do it. Can I flip my camera upside down for you to show you? Probably not going to be able to see anything, but they are all underneath there. Right fiddly job. Now it would have been nice when developing this vehicle to make a section of the front panel that you could just unbolt and get access towards things, but I don't think everybody thinks like me. But never mind, we need to get involved. Before we go ahead and get these glow plugs out, what we're going to do, we're going to test them. Now I have taken the wiring loom off them. You can't even see them. They're down there. Can you see the shiny bit? Just by there. I'll try and put an arrow on it. What we're going to do, test lamp, positive, and that side goes on to the tip of the glow plug, and I'll show you whether it's working. If the light's lighting up, we've got a good glow plug. If it isn't, we've got a bad one. But we know, just off our diagnostic tool, which is a Launch Tab 3, the cylinder 3 is down. But we can't just go off what the tools are saying. You have to test these things, you have to. But right, I'm going to go ahead now and touch it, see what happens. Right, let's start with cylinder 2. This is awkward. There we go. Good glow plug. Let's move around to cylinder 3. All you want to do is just touch the tip of it. Oh, I can't even get it on. Like that is on. You wiggle it around, make sure it's a good contact. Yeah. Cylinder 3 has 100% failed. Now the hard part, is it going to come out or is it going to snap? Who knows? Who knows? But we will find out in a minute. Now I like to remove as much debris as possible. Now as you can see, we've got lots of leaves and bits of dirt and stuff like that. Now if they get onto the thread, it's going to damage them. Now what I've done, a cheap airline blow which we can bend the end on. I'm going to get it round now and see if I can blow it out. Sounds promising. Let's have a little look now. Is it nice and clean? Nope. Let me put my camera there. Say what, it's a bloody fiddly this is. Right, well that now is 10 times better than what it was. Right, let's get them out. Right, well believe it or not, I was absolutely dreading that glow plug coming out. I don't know why, I don't know. But anyway, we've now got it on. What I used, a little 3/8 short flexible ratchet, 10mm on a bar, and it has come out. But look at the end, I don't know whether that's right or not. Does it focus? It's worn on a bit of a tip. If you compare it to a new one, perfectly round. Strange. Before we put this glow plug back in, what we're going to do is give it a little bit of a coating of some liquid moly, injector and glow plug grease. I've used this stuff for years. It's absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to get it put back in now and talk to spec. Right, well now I have changed the faulty glow plug and I've gone ahead and tried to remove cylinder 4 glow plug, and it's going to turn into a big job. Now, I don't want the car stuck on my ramp. The customer needs the car back. We've replaced a faulty part. Yes, I have got a full set to go in with one that's already put in, but I don't want to go getting involved, and it's weird. Do you know when you're going to remove a glow plug, it's almost feels as if it's going to snap. Now I don't want to force it and it spiral out of control, which it can do very, very easily. So what I'm going to do is put the car back together. We're going to inform the customer and say, look, you know, we fixed the one, but the other ones do need changing, as they will fail, and they are going to fail in time. But I think it's something that the customer can be prepared for, as in a repair bill cost, if that makes sense. So yeah, with a little bit of magic now, that car is all put back together. We're going to grab the scanner. For those that don't know, that are interested, I use a Launch Euro Tab 3. It is absolutely insane. Let's get in. Alright, let's go back to here, make sure we've got the ignition on. Go back. If we go back now and read the fault codes, that cylinder 3 glow plug has turned from permanent to intermittent, and they all the fault codes are intermittent and historic. What's that buzzing? Oh, ignition's on. Right, let's clear these fault codes. Now I have already made a report of this with all the fault codes, so we're going to go down and clear them all now. This thing is absolutely insane, like, it's really quick. What have we all been doing today anyway? We all had a busy day, so I'm not a fan of this hot weather. Right, let's clear that. And now let's get on the key now. Cycle the ignition. Foot on the brake-a-rooney and give it a big start. And all warning lights have now been extinguished. Right, now with all them fault codes cleared, oh, bloody beeping, shut up. I'm going to put the car down the road, make sure that the air conditioning is on, because I want to have a little bit of a cool down for a minute. I'm going to take for a good 10-15 minute test drive and just make sure that this car is okay. Now it is lunchtime. I'm probably going to stop at the butcher's and pick myself a buttier. But yeah, I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Well, you'll see me in a few seconds, but yeah, I'm going to be 10 minutes. Right, well, after my little test drive, I am a little bit concerned, to be honest, because I think we've got turbo failing on this car. Now, when a turbo fails, you get almost like a woo, woo sort of noise of them. Now, you can laugh as much as you want, but I'm no good at special effects. And that is what this car is doing. So, I have a little word with the customer, explain to them the fault codes that we've got, the problems that we've run into with the glow plugs, and that as for that turbo fault, I think that's going to want a turbo. We'll have to do some further investigation and see where the customer wants to go. So yeah, that is Land Rover shenanigans for you. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next. I don't know what I got in next. It could be anything. Could be anything. But anyway, let's get it sent.